Welcome back. In this video, I will cover how you can implement Firebase authentication in Flutter using email and password sign-in. So here on the left, you have these product categories, and in security, you have this authentication. So tap on this, and here we can set up these sign up methods. So we will go with email and password first, and from here I need to enable this and just keep it as it is and save. So now we have enabled email password authentication. So I will go back to my Flutter app. This is the basic counter app, and I have integrated the Firebase project in my previous video here, right? So after that, now we will be doing the login sign up part. Here, this is the counter app that you can see here, and we need to change it to the login sign up UI, right? So for that, let me create two screens. The first one will be login screen, and then we will also create the sign up screen as well. So let's create a stateful widget that will be of name login screen, and here we need to add some UI. So we will add this scaffold here, and we will also need to add navigation, but let's build something. Here we will add the body, then the column, and inside the column we will add some children. Right here, let's align the widgets to center. So man axis alignment will be center, and below here we need some widgets to be added. So definitely we will need a text field where we will be inputting email and similarly password. So we need a text field here. Just enter text field, and also below that we need some sort of text like login, right? So this is for the login screen, and then we have a text field. But now let's move toward the main screen and remove this other code for counter app, right? So I will just remove it, and let's create this my app again, and here it should return material app, and this material app home will be this login screen, right, that we just created. And now let's see the UI. You can see we have this login title, then we have this text field. So what to do? Let's move to login screen. Here we need to add some padding as per the standard practice. Let's add some padding here. Use this symmetric, and horizontally let's use horizontal padding and 20 pixels. Now it looks good. And for the login, I need to add some styling here. So text style, font size should be like 20, and font weight should be bold. So I will just do these basic changes to make it look like a screen. And here I need to give some spacing. So I will add this size box with a height of 30. And now let's have a look. It looks better. This is the text field that we can change the design, but we don't need that. We should focus on the real part, right? So we need two types of two text fields. One for the email and one for the password, right? So I have created two, and we also need some spacing in between. So let's give it a height of in normal practice we don't give that much, so 16 will be enough. And this is the text field, right? Then also give a size box, height to 30 this time, and then just add a button, right? That will be tapped for login. So I'll just add empty method here, and the child will be text, that will be login, right? And also give a comma here, and this is our screen which is ready, our login screen, and login button is also ready. So this is the UI. So now what we need to do here, we need to create some controllers, right? So here I need to create the init state method that is called, why I'm not able to, this is the init state method, right? So this is the method that is called whenever this screen is created. So we can initialize state here, and in the state we need some text editing controllers, right? So what we will do, we will just create these text editing controllers first, that we will pass to these text field, and then we can extract the email and password values that the user will input there. So just create the one for email, and that's going to be text editing controller, right? And similarly we need one for password as well, and it will be pass. So we have these two controllers. We can initialize it in the init state, or we can leave it here because we have already initialized it. And here we have this method dispose. When we leave the screen, we want to dispose these controllers because they take space in memory. So we want to dispose them so that the resources are freed after they are no longer required. So we will call the dispose method with email and similarly password, right? So now we have initialized, we don't need it. Text field, we have also managed the disposal, and now we need to pass these controllers here in the text field. So in the text field, we have this controller, and the first one is for email, and the second is for password, right? So here we also pass the second controller, which is pass, right? So we have the controller setup, we have this elevated button a login ready, right? So we have this login screen ready, and we can replicate the same for sign up as well. So just copy it and now create a new file, and it will be signup dot screen dot dart, right? Just copy it, paste it, and now here function F2 on Mac, you will have some keyword on the Windows. So just change it to sign up screen, and now it will apply everywhere. We need the same email password controllers. Here we need to change it to sign up, right? And here it will be sign up. So we have created this login sign up UI, and we can also move to sign up. For that we need to add some sort button here. So I will move to the login screen, and here below I need to add some size box with the height of 50, and then I need to add some text button here for sign up so that we can navigate to the sign up screen. And this text will be wrapped with inkwell to make it tabbable, and then we have this on tab, and inside this on tab we need to add the navigator to move to the other screen, navigator dot push, and here we need to add material page route, and in the builder we will return this sign up screen that we just created, right? So now when it is tapped, it will be moved to the sign up screen, right? So we can also copy this thing and it will be used on the sign up screen as well. Now you can see if I tap on sign up, I move to the sign up screen, and here on the sign up we can also add this login text here in the same way. Just change it to login, and this will be login screen. And now when I tap this login, I'm back to this login screen, right? So now let's implement the Firebase auth functionality as our UI is complete. So for that I need to create an auth service class, right? And here I will create the functionality we auth service, right? So for Firebase auth we need a package, so I'll hit Control Shift P and add dependency that will be Firebase auth. I need this package to be installed, okay? And once we have it, we can create an instance of this package auth, that will be Firebase auth, then instance. We can use this Firebase auth instance to sign up, login, etc. So I will create a method with return type future user nullable, and then it will be sign up, right? And here inside this sign up we will pass email and password that we will take from the text fields, right, that we created, and here it needs to be asynchronous, right? So that's the sign up now we need to wrap our code in the try catch block. So I will use this Firebase auth exception catch error related to Firebase, and then we need to do some action here. We will just throw the error that we caught, right? And here what we need to do, we need to create a variable for user credential that is returned by the method of signup, right? So we have from this auth that we just got from the package, and then create user with email and password method, right? Here we will pass the email and password that we receive from the input text fields, and we have passed it in the signup, and here they are passed to this method to Firebase to create a user, right, with the email and password, and it returns user credential, right? You can see it's an asynchronous future credential. Then from here we can return the user, so user credential dot user, right? So this thing returns nullable user, that's what we pass. So if there is something wrong, like the user doesn't exist or something like that, it may be returned null. So we can catch if this user is null, then you can say like login or sign up failed, right? So it's a future as it is an asynchronous operation. After that we are return this user, and we can follow the same since we are not using this e, so it's redundant. Remove this catch, and this retro is enough. And now let's copy the same method and use it for login, right? Also use it for a logout. So we have handled the sign up, let's handle the login. So the method almost remain the same, but here this changed to sign in with email and password, right? You pass the same email password and the method has been changed, it returns the same thing. So that's for login. And for logout, let's use logout, and here we don't need to pass anything, so we will just remove these arguments. And similarly this method also, the return type, it will just be void because it returns nothing. And here we can use await and then the auth to sign out, right? So this is the method. So we have created auth service class, and then we have handle the sign up, login, and logout functionality, right? So we can now use this in our screens. So I'll go to the sign up first, and inside the sign up here I need to initialize this auth service. So I will use this auth, and I can then use it whenever the sign up button is tapped. What I can do, I can try and catch these errors, right? And I can print it. And here I can use a synchronous method and await, and then what I can do is to sign up. So I can use this auth to sign up, and I need to pass the email and password. So we have created this controller. So I will use this controller to get the text out of text field, and similarly for password as well, right? So we are passing it to a sign up method, which in turn passes it to Firebase, and it returns us the user, right? So if this user is not null, user not equals to null, which means we have successfully signed up, right? So we will use, where is the developer, this one, we will use signed up successfully, right? And if there's an error, so just print this error, right? So we have this sign up functionality being configured. If successful, it prints sign up. If not, so it will just print the error. And then do the same for the login part here as well. So here I need to just replace this with this one, right? But we also need to register auth here, initiate it will be auth, and the same thing, auth service class, we will use it on both screens. And here from sign up, instead we will just use login, and here we need to import this developer, it will be log in, right? So we have handled both sign up and login, and now let's try it out. But for before that, let's just create another screen, home. So once we are logged in, we need to move to the home screen, right? So let's just create this home screen, and that will be a stateless widget home screen, and it should return us scaffold with body, column, and then children, right? And here we need to add some sort of text buttons, like to show it is on the home screen, right? Or we can use this app bar here, app bar, and here we can set the title to, the title will be home screen, right? And below here in the middle of the column, let's align it to center. Here we can create the button for logout to test the logout functionality as well. So just wrap it inside inkwell, and on tap here, on tap we can use that auth service, we need to create that. So just use it directly, auth service dot logout, right? We can also wait for logout to complete. So as it is an asynchronous operation, catch e, and just put these things in the try catch block here, and then use await, right? Just print e dot to string, and once it's log out, we can move to this back to login screen. So now if I go to sign up screen, here what I can do, just copy this navigator push. Once the sign up is successful, I want to move to this home screen, right? Because when the user is signed up, so Firebase automatically logs the user in as well. So it just needs to move to the home screen, and now copy it. When the user is logged in, we also want to move to the home screen, right? Just import this screen, and the login is ready. But on the home screen, when this logout is tapped, we want to go to this other screen, which is the login screen. Just move the user to login screen, close this thing, that is login screen. So our functionality is ready, right? So it's always better to test it out. So I will go to this sign up screen, and here from login, just go to sign up, and let's test it out, right? I will restart the app first. That's the login, move to sign up, and here let's create a user with an email, test@email.com, and then set a password, test1234, and then sign up to see what it does. And yes, our sign up is successful. You can see signed up. So it was executed, then this, and then we move to the home screen, right? And we can now log out. Here we have this logout button. So let's go to home screen and just move this logout to the center, right? So it will be in the center here. And now let's tap this logout button to see if we are logged out or not, right? So here I will add this logging for logged out, and now everything's okay. So now let's try it out. So I'll tap on it, and it says log out, right? So I will restart it, and now try to log in with the same account that I created. So I will just use test at the rate. So let's do something wrong to see if it detects or not. Test something wrong password, and I will try to log in, and it hasn't logged in. You can see the supplied auth credential is malformed or has expired. So now let's try the real one. We will handle these errors later. I'll use gmail, not email.com, and then test One, two, three, four. And now let's try to log in. And this time, let's see. Yes, we are logged in and we are in this screen, right? So our login, sign up, log out, our Firebase email authentication functionality has been completed. Let's see if we have the user registered here. So if I'll go to users, you can see we have this user created and we have already signed in with that user in our app and similarly logged out. And this is the unique user ID for that user. That is very important. So that was it for today video, guys. See you in the next video. Goodbye.